Over the years, urban development in Mexico has been unorganized and at times chaotic. Sometimes houses are much closer to factories than desirable. Industrial, residential, and school areas, ideally speaking, should be separated from one another. Sadly, this is not always the case, and people are put in risk, sometimes without knowing the situation. The cotton factory located in Jesus Tlatempa, San Pedro Cholula, is polluting via air and water. This pollution is caused by the management and disposing of hazardous products used in the process. These pollutants could affect directly the health of the people living near the factory, and that's why it is important to identify and regulate the disposal of these pollutants as well as regulating the celebrity uses of this factory. With this report, we will identify the damage done by this factory and the people nearby and propose a solution to this issue.
The list of solutions are the following. The contamination produced by the factory can be reduced by making people that live close to the area aware of what is happening. This solution might not have a significant impact because people usually do not care and they will not leave home. However, people will be informed. Also, it can be reduced by making people aware of consumption. We can send a message to the people that live in Puebla advertising of what is happening and telling them that they should buy only the necessary to reduce the production. The hypotheses are the next. The cotton factory pollutes the water by liberating colorants and substances such as alkyphenol. The chlorine released to the water liberates organochlorines, compounds that are burned in water, generating highly toxic waste. The list of actions are the following. Establish a radius of 5 kilometers from the factory and share talks with people commenting how the factory pollutes the place and affect them. Make advertising that informs the problem and makes people aware so that they reduce the consumption of those products.
Well, as Michael Smith said, explained previously, the result of this environment pollution produced by the cotton industry represent a serious problem for society and greater risks for the inhabitants close to the industry. Substances that are used in the type of industries are often not meeting the health margins for which it has serious consequences on the environment. We have identified these contaminated materials, which is a great help since this can start to solve problems. However, there are already cases where people, and specifically people who live near the industry, already have symptoms of the effects of these toxic materials. For the cases that can be given solutions that present the actions that are advisable to do, if any, and in case they can attend to receive medical treatment.
As far we know the following data, we know that the immediate effects of these pollutants are irritation in eyes and throat and skin, also in stomach, and also the incommodity caused by the smell. We have identified that the materials causing contamination are sodium hydroxide, that is the caustic soda, hydrogen peroxide, Kerolon MFB ECO, that is a detergent and a wetting agent, and trichospers SP40, that is a dispersing agent for dyes, and finally the white-heel, that is a bleacher. We can also know by now that the sodium hydroxide causes long-term effects such as eye problems, gastritis, ulcers, migraine, respiratory problems, inflammation from lungs, ears, and eyes, diarrhea, abdominal pains, vision loss, and pain. And we also know at last that the victims of this contamination issue are the neighbors living near the factory, the schools, the work centers, and some kindergartens.
The waste from the cotton factories is harmful to the health of the people who live near the factories. When these factories release their waste where it is not correct, is something unethical that directly affects the health of the people. This because at the moment when we inhale the gases of that the factory emits, the people that live near the factory are exposed to put themselves in danger because they inhale an air that is polluted by the gases of the factory. Many communities have this kind of problems of living near to a factory, and sometimes they don't know the impact that could have living there because they don't know the risks that this can represent for their health.
After all this research, We collected relevant information that can help the community have a better understanding of the situation. Raúl Abarca from Eco13 says that cotton is one of the main pollutants of the planet. Cotton industries occupy 3% of the farmed ground on Earth. It consumes 23% of the pesticides used and 10% of chemical products. As we know, cotton is one of the main fibers that people usually consume, even though it is recommended that they need to take care of the consequences the factory can bring. They live in circumstances that it is barely possible for them to take actions according to this topic. The government is the one who needs to establish regulations and norms in order to create an environment out of health diseases. People need to contribute and be aware of the issue.